The fishing news is brought to you by Interlux Marine Paint, Fanatics of Ocean City, Maxima Fishing Line, and Okuma.
Now, I know I get complaints from people telling me I'm always the eternal optimist, but I'm telling you right now, the fluke bite is definitely on the uptick throughout New Jersey. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, and more reports coming from South Jersey and the back bays, Cape May County, behind Tuckerton as well. Improved action, perhaps as more of these fluke are heading into the deeper channels, stacking up closer towards the inlet. Maybe they're making their plans to make that run, I'm not sure, but still some good fish being caught in some of the back bays that haven't really been producing much this year, although David Absecon Bay Sportsman has called it in the last few weeks some of the best fluke fishing that he's seen in 31 years. So it definitely seems to be the fish are on the move. Dave is talking about more of the bait coming in through the inlets, and those summer flounder are stacking up there on those fish. Tom Bellucci, he had a 10-pounder in the back in Barnegat Bay just the end of last week. Mike Green sent us that photo. It was caught on the incoming tide in about 17 feet of water. More catch and release on the fluke in Barnegat Bay has been the sign for most of this season, but as Tom showed here with a 1-ounce S&S bucktail with bunker, a peanut bunker on there, there are some big fish being able to stack up. And if you're looking at any of the lagoons or canals, you'll see a lot more peanut bunker are stacked up. So hopefully they start to spread out throughout the bay and start their move as well. Even to the south, in Delaware, we had a true doormat fluke over 10 pounds. Mark Stanley had a 10.2-pounder in the pocket at Indian River Inlet, and he was throwing a pink gulp, checked in with Hook'em and Cook'em. And of course, don't tell me you can't get away from work just for a few minutes to get in on some of this fishing. Avanti Drummond took a little lunch break at Lewis Canal earlier in the week, making time to score with some of those summer flounders. So wherever you are throughout the state of New Jersey, of course, we've told you the old grounds, Cape May Reef, a lot of the reef sites, and especially those big doormats on the Raritan. If you're looking to score, this weekend should be a busy one. The JCAA Fluke Tournament is going on. Hundreds of boats typically turn out for this one with 9 ports, a top prize of $50,000 to the top fish over 12 pounds. You can find out more information in your local tackle shop, or of course you can log in to jcaa.org. And if you're out there on the fluke grounds and working one of those wrecks, you're at Barnegat Inlet, Barnegat Reef, and working some of those wrecks, don't forget you got that 2-fish bag limit on black sea bass. So make sure you keep a couple of big knuckleheads like Captain Steve Bent here did fishing out of Cape May over the weekend. Now, as I mentioned last week too, the boats that are heading offshore, it's not just tuna, but also cod. Some of these boats are actually going out and doing a little combo trip, putting cod and tuna into the box, like Captain Sam on the Mary M4. Closer inshore, a lot of the Ocean and Monmouth County party boats, if they're not sailing for fluke, they're also taking advantage of the mackerel run, like the Miss Belmar Princess here. A few good mackerel reports coming in from some of those ports. Offshore looks like 3 to 4s, 3 to 5s throughout this weekend. Could be a little sporty for some of you guys on the smaller boats. Big eye, bluefin, yellowfin offshore. Captain Bob Bideman checked in with us this week. He had the fish trap out, put in a 450-pound blue marlin release, and also put Vincent Ping Chen. The party came in from China to do some fishing and had some good action with the mahi as well. If you're looking at the offshore grounds in our reports this week in the Fisherman magazine, the Toms has been producing yellowfin and big eye. At the mud hole, a couple of Spanish mackerel, and Bacardi 30 fathoms around that range. We're still getting good reports on bluefin, where you can find them. This is also the time of year where we could start taking out that spinning tackle, that heavy gear, and start throwing the poppers, finding a lot of times where you get those bluefin feeding up on the surface. Still getting more big sharks from the wash, especially in the LBI area, which has been hot. Jared Hillman and Taylor Corbett turned a few heads, releasing this giant sand tiger into the wash earlier this week. They caught that on a Jingles bait and tackle mackerel. And again, we're finding out more of those sand tigers and browns being caught at night, and also by, as you can see, during the high sun light of day. More strange visitors. We got this one, came in via email this week from Chris Eastburn. What the heck is it? It's a smooth puffer. We get some of these reports throughout the summers. Smooth puffer fish, is it edible? No. From what I've read, I'd advise against eating that. I'd also advise eating anything that you see on the cover of the Fisherman magazine for the August edition. That big false albacore. Good fight, bad eating. But this is the time of year where you can start getting onto those lumps and look for the bonita and the false albacore. That should take us through great light tackle action through the rest of the summer. Find that August edition of the Fisherman magazine in local tackle shops and on your newsstands. You subscribers, you've already got your weekly for the week, and you'll keep getting them weekly through the end of the season. Until next week, catch them up, my friends, and I'll see you over at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is brought to you by Indilux Marine Paint, Fanatics of Ocean City, Maxima Fishing Line, and Okuma.